Hello and welcome to the show. There is some very good news indeed. Scripthook has been updated, which means we can go back to playing some of the street racing career. With the gun running DLC, a whole bunch of cars have been kept behind, shall we say. They're doing their normal drip feed of new content and cost you millions and millions of dollars each in their attempts to get you to buy more shark cards. So, the joys of PC modding, I've got all of these cars to play around with. Now, I don't actually know what the cost of these vehicles are going to be, and I really bloody wanted to play around with the new Ardent. This, a Lotus esprit, essentially. It's brilliant. So yeah, I wanted to have a go with this car. So I'm going to say that it costs $250,000. I have, if we pause the game, taken away $250,000 from my money. I'm going to say that's how much it costs. I expect it's going to cost a lot more, knowing how much they want to charge for cars. But yeah, for the sake of me getting to play around with this vehicle, that is going to have been its cost. Interesting thing about this car that I wasn't expecting, and I won't be using for this series. However, yeah, it has got guns in the front of it. There is a machine gun at the front. Now, I'm not going to use that to cheat in the drag races to try and take out someone's tyre. However, it's an unexpected surprise from this vehicle. Now, with the cost of the car, that means I have $74,000 left for bets and for potential upgrades. We're going to start off today by having a look at the possible things we can do to our Lotus. So we're not going to worry about armour. I mean, you can put armour on the car. We're not going to need it for our racing. Likewise, we are doing drag races. Don't need to worry about braking. Apparently the brakes are awful. My very brief drive of this car didn't feel like it was that bad. Certainly not as bad as a slam van and so on, but there we go. Bumpers. We have got various options for the front bumper. Be honest, of all the aspects of this car, the front bumper is perhaps the most questionable. I don't know, I'm not a massive fan. It kind of feels like it's a little bit too tall, but maybe that is just me. I don't know if I like any of these other ones better though. That's the thing. I think I actually prefer the standard bumper to the rest, so we're going to keep it like that. The rear bumper, we can have a classic bumper or the stock. I kind of would prefer the stock bumper with maybe the vent in it. I don't really like... Yeah, I'm not actually a massive fan of either of those alternative options, so we're going to keep it like so. Engine cover. Now, this is something that we have been seeing kind of more and more with the later cars of this... of GTA 5 in general, is options for engine covers and so on. So, we can have the normal one, we can have completely smooth, we can have vented, we can have tuner covers, essentially just larger vented, or we can have engines sticking out of the top. I'm not sure engine sticking out the top is very in keeping with the Lotus, quite frankly. I think we might go for just the dual vented. Yeah, it's costed us a little bit of money. It's not too terrible, though. So we will do that. Exhausts. We can have an oval exhaust or normal exhaust. Or exhaust. I think I prefer the normal exhaust, to be honest. Fenders, we can have stock. We can make them plastic, or we can have them secondary colour. Nope, I'm leaving them on stock as well. Bonnet. So we've got normal one, smooth, vented, dual vented, sport, tuner, and a deep vented hood. You know, again, I'm finding myself drawn towards the stock one more out of all of these options. I'm not sure. I guess the sport hood is probably my second favourite of the lot of them, but no, I'm keeping that one there as standard as well. We're not worried about horns, not worried about lights and so on. We'll keep it yellow for now. I actually quite like the yellow that it randomly got selected. In spoiler time, we have got classic spoiler or we have got tuner spoiler. None of them look like they quite fit the car. However, yeah, I'm gonna of all of these that don't quite fit the car, they don't feel like they're quite wide enough. I think we're going to go with a classic spoiler. Over that. I mean, you would expect these to at least be as wide as the car, not leave all that overhang if you're going for that sort of look. Likewise, I prefer the classic ones to have the spoiler sort of come down at the edge. I'm not massively impressed, I'm going to be honest here, with the visual upgrades on this car. Well, personally for me, I think it looks better just about with all of the stock stuff. But there we go. Right, that's the... I mean, there's a fair bit of customizability in the car, if you so wish. Oh, side skirts. Is there side skirts? No, does not look like there is. Okay. Now, mechanical bits and pieces. And we need to be careful because we do need to leave enough money to make some bets. I did also notice something when I was looking through here. Now, I do not know if this is part of the the drag racing, the drag meets mod that I am using, whether this super transmission is something that comes with that or whether this is something new to GTA 5. I think it's part of the mod, considering, well, the price at the moment of parts. It's quite cheap. I'm going to try it, though. I don't really know what it does, other than apparently makes my car faster accelerating, according to the stats. We'll see. We will see with that. We will lower the car. We will give it some nice sports suspension. Now, the other options, we can go for a turbo. We can, we go for a turbo, or we go for the engine tunes. Now, the engine upgrade level 4 is more expensive and less effective. So I think we will come back for it because I'm going to want all of these bits and pieces. We will go for turbo though on our car. Wheels, how much are some sport wheels? I might just go and get some wheels. I actually quite like the standard wheels that come on this car, but I want the improved grip that we get off the line. They're only 2,100, so we will go with well, I might go for something a little bit different on the Lotus. Actually, they're not too bad. We'll go for these on our Lotus, and tyres. I believe it is tyre design, custom tyres, is essentially giving your car race tyres on better rims. So we will do all of that. We've got $50,000 to be playing around with. Now, I can't really afford to be losing too many races. I haven't got a huge amount of money left to be playing around with, but our Lotus is ready to go. So, it is off to Paleto Bay. We have come in an attempt to earn a little bit more money and kind of gauge the performance of our car. I don't really know. I mean, we haven't... Part of the reason why I came here is that we are not expecting the huge number of supercars to turn up, but with the sleepers potential, you never know what you're going to find. In fact, we do need somebody to accept our challenges at least. So this Blister is happy to play with plenty of money. We will give it a try. Oh, they've got off and underway. I didn't really see, but they're off. I think, is it Glendale's going quickly? I didn't actually notice who was racing. Someone was racing a minivan, so to be fair, the minivan is always going to be slow. It's a play. Actually, a minivan is faster than you'd expect. Less than a second away from the Blade. That's good going. Now... 28,000. I think I'm going to leave it at 28,000, but I'm not... I should beat a Ballista unless it's a horrendous sleeper. I should be okay. Now, one thing to bear in mind, I have had to turn off the manual part of this mod for now. It'll come back on when it's back working again. Something in the latest updates for GTA has given it some issues. It just doesn't... like the bar will come up and you can still miss shift, but it never gives you the signal for a good shift. So, seeing as it is, no longer functioning, or not functioning at the moment, we are not going to have that on. So yeah, we're not worrying about bad shift, maybe worry about bad launch. Let's see what we do off of the line here. It is a, well, I managed to get it off the line with the kind of patient tactic. Good God, this car is pretty quick. It's pretty good. I mean, there were 15s and 16s from the last run. We are at a 13-1. Yeah? Okay. We're a couple of seconds faster. I mean, I would expect to beat a Blade. I certainly would expect to beat a minivan. If anything, that did seem like a good performance from the minivan. Blister and a Glendale are going up next. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious to see what if any of these things are horrendous sleeper cars. Also, the Blade looks like a pretty serious one. That Blade looks like a pretty serious drag car over there, doesn't it? Is it called a drag? No, it's just called a general Blade. It does look like a fairly heavily modified car, mind. Shall we go? Let's go and have a go against Zion. He's got some money to burn. We will go and give that car a challenge. Let's have a quick look at this race. We might not have done in time. No, we haven't. Yeah, I'll kind of work my way up through the cars. I would expect the Ardent to be pretty good. I would expect it to have some serious enough speed. I believe it's from the Sport Classic side, so it's not a full-on supercar, but for the sake of playing around with something new, I wanted to show it. Wow, 17. So they're very, very Bogo standard kind of things. They're not particularly impressive. We got a 20 grand race between the Zion and my Lotus. Yeah, the Zions were putting up an okay fight. They weren't too far down on the Karuma. So again, if we absolutely smash the Zion, then that is continual continual sign of good luck. Of course, we don't have wheelies on our side with this car, which is, I say, a bit of a shame. Kind of isn't in some ways. It means that we at least get a nice controlled launch, but we don't have that mega boost start. It's a big, again, a very, very big lead from the Ardent down to a 13.1. I can't remember what times the fastest cars were setting previous. Oh, we got another $4,000 for no one betting on us. Excellent. I have a feeling, I don't know why the Mambas were into the 12s. I might be wrong. Admittedly, there is one more stage of upgrades to get on our car. The Monroe is going up against a slam van. I don't know who's got no money, because no one's betting big in that one. Shall we try against the Stinger? This seems like a... Oh, Stinger has absolutely no money. Okay, the Stinger has no money. This is going to be a piddly race. Don't know quite why some of these cars... It seems to be the Sport Classics, actually, that are sporting in with a wonky amount of money. Never mind. Yeah, it could well be that stuff is broken with, as I said, with the update as well elsewhere. We'll give the ingot, not the ingot, the Stinger a race. If we're, comprehensively beating that, again, might not be a massively modified one, but if we're comprehensively beating that, we'll see what time the Monroe does. And then yeah, that's that is good news for me. Let's see. I could help out the slam van. I'm not going to, though. I don't have the Firebird are just running around because they're freaked out that we're starting races down here. Only a 15.2, so we're 2 seconds quicker than the Monroe. I do want to race that minivan before we are done here. I do definitely want to race that minivan, because that seems like a mighty, mighty fast minivan. It's nice to see that the kind of sleeper stuff is affecting unusual cars. It's not just a Stanier or the Tailgater that turn up and are suddenly very quick. We can get minivans that are monstrously fast, or at least respectively fast. Okay, Stinger, let's see what you have got against the Ardent. Focus on getting a good launch so we don't have too much wheel spin, which indeed we do. It's just kind of that initial hold. Once the car's just got off the line, you can jump straight to full throttle. I might actually try a couple of full throttle launches with this car just to see how it goes, and that's a 13.4, no better in terms of time, but a 16.5 from the Stinger. I will take some more money from you. Well, I say more money from you, like $600. Oh, the amazing giddy heights of $600. Yeah. We will race the minivan because I want to, and then we're going to head out to maybe a supercar meet and see if we're any competitive there. Out of these two, out of the ingot, like I have seen that black and purple ingot around before. I think it's quite a good one. Let's see if we can actually get a cinematic view for once over there. Hey, look at that! I think that ingot's one of the faster ingots around. I might be wrong. It's not got off the line very well. Oh wow, that is a terrible. I literally watched you miss shift. I lied. The ingot's terrible. It's one of the better looking, one of the more interesting looking ingots, but this one is apparently terrible. Ignore me completely. That's embarrassing, ingot. Come on. Now, while I do not have the manual sort of shifting part of this game at the moment, the AIs still have a random chance of having a misshift along their run. So you may see them, may see very fast ones of them having poor runs, etc. I believe all of mine are consistently okay, so I don't get any sort of extra speed, but I don't get any negative effects. Yeah, it is what I work with to start with, with the mod. I'm okay with running it. Just when we get it working, we will go back to more added stuff for me to have to worry about. Come on, minivan. You're not picking the kids up from school today. You are going for a drag race, or maybe some reverse donuts in the car park. I'm fine. If you want to do reverse donuts in that, I'm fine with it. It'll make for an entertaining spectacle. Helpful thing with this meet is the AI have actually got really nice pathing to get out of the way so they don't end up in traffic. The slam van is betting on his fellow van of sorts to win. It's a brave person who bets on a minivan against a Lotus. Oh, yeah, okay, so this will still get the wheel spin. It's actually not as bad as the Kuruma off the line, interestingly. Yeah, it does still get that sort of wheel spinny, skinny launch, but it's not as bad as the Kuruma. And that is going to be a relatively straightforward victory. Actually, a poor run for the minivan. I will take it. I will take victory. Over here, we've made a fair bit of money. We're going to go play with some supercars. Now, we have headed out to the Sandy Shores airfield once more. I figured I could go to the kind of street, a sort of quarter-mile drag race that's just over the road from here, but I want to see how the Ardent does sort of top speed on the longer runs. The Sandy Shores airfield feels like one of the best places to take the car, to find that sort of stuff out. It's, I think, a little bit shorter than we have at the main airfield, or the main drag meet, but it's, yeah, a good testing ground. So we will have a play. A 770 is going to be potentially our first victim. Who knows if if we will have the speed. Got to watch out for some of the custom drag cars. My Ardent might be quick, but it's never going to beat the, what was it, 10 seconds? If we can do a 10-second run down here, that would be nice. It's, yeah, I don't think we're ever going to beat that Sabre Turbo drag monstrosity. Or what are we seeing sort of time-wise here? 17 and an 18. Alright. Come on, Ardent. I have also, as I came over to this meet, upgraded the engine, so this car is got pretty much all the upgrades I believe that it can. Let's see if we can get 15. He will go 15. Will he go 20? I would like to take 20. Oh, he'll go 19 though, so we'll do that. 19,000 of your dollars. Would be very nice if we can get them, keep raking back in the money, all of the money that we've spent on this vehicle. Interestingly, is that one of the... It is! Okay, so I did mess around with a couple of the other cars and added some of them to the meetings, and one has turned up. Sorry, we'll go to our race in a second. The Torero? I don't know. Lamborghini Countach, essentially, is here. Looks pretty damn cool, doesn't it? We're going to race that after. That looks like it's upgraded as well, so we'll find out how quickly that one goes. That's pretty neat. I like that the game does, that it has worked that well, that it has added it. Because, yeah, I mean, I added them in the hope that some of them might turn up, but I haven't actually seen them before turn up. However, while we are filming, we have got one of the new cars to play with, or to race against, as well as our Ardent, that we have got to be using. How are we going to fare against the 770? Oh, apparently we get wheelies when we have the engine upgraded. Oh, that wasn't quite what I was expecting. I wasn't prepared for that one, and the 770 is quicker than we are. No. Oh, no, don't shoot. Don't shoot. Be good. Be good. I won't do it. Arse. Was not at all ready for wheelies. Well, that wasn't particularly quick down there either. Okay, so Lotus does wheelies. Lotus has we suddenly got grip to do the wheelies. I think it feels slower potentially like this than it did before. That was a slightly nerve-wracking, terrifying experience. We aren't massively quick, mind. I'm fairly sure we'll challenge him to a race. Yeah, so Sport Classics are having issues for some reason with the way the money is spawning in. That wasn't particularly fast. I think we were getting 30... Did we get into the 12s with the shafter down here? So we have not got a huge amount of speed down this run. Now, it's quite possible. Let's face it, playing around with this car before it is sort of proper in GTA might cause potential conflicts when it comes to the mod, so that might not be helping its performance, etc. But yeah, it felt decent. It felt fast enough at the other event. Just down here, we seem to be lacking. I wonder if if it's not supposed to be doing wheelies and it's not quite getting the boost from the start that it would expect to otherwise. There is all of those sort of potentials. Might have been quite an expensive temporary mistake, shall we say, with the Ardent. We'll go with temporary mistake. Rat Truck versus Glendale should be actually an interesting one. Depends if the Rat Truck is heavily modified or not. This one here, not looking like it is particularly. No. And it's not about, although it is now kind of levelled off against the Glendale. It just can't quite get off the line fast enough. I'm looking at the minimap to kind of judge there. This maybe a fraction or two it was closing, nowhere near enough. Wow, it was a very close race, a very slow race, but a very close race between the pair of them. I'll be interested to see if the Torero is going to do a wheelie with me. Can we have double wheeling classic cars? Maybe. Oh, well done. You've run over some spectators. At least we have a spectator run across in front of us at the moment. That's kind of helpful. It's never good when the spectators run across in front of you. Right, let's spin up the tyres. Let's get some heat in them. Let's try and get a better launch. Well, if we are wheelie, I'm not going to worry about faffing about with sort of throttle. I'm just going to go full throttle and hope that we can make the most of the start. Oh, that's more like it. That's more like it off the line. Well, certainly in comparison to the Torero, but I'm not sure we've really got much in the way of top end down here. Let's see what we do. See what we do run time. It doesn't feel massively quick. It is still a 15.9. It's not fast. It was a better launch, I think, there, but it just didn't feel particularly quick. Indeed. I was hoping for a little bit more in terms of top speed from our Lotus. Potentially quite a costly mistake in terms of a car. We can certainly make our money back through the race meetings, but a costly mistake, potentially, nonetheless. I love the car, though. I'm so glad we have an esprit-style vehicle now in GTA 5. Having guns is certainly an interesting one, and whenever we, A, get access to this sort of stuff in the creator, and B, Take-Two stop being an arse and allow OpenIV to continue their developments, I look forward to doing some Death Race-style stuff with these vehicles. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.